Good afternoon, viewers. This is Bhavna Vijayan for Redspot News. Headlines. Addressing ASSOCHAM conference, Prime Minister Narendra Modi claims India's economy is growing rapidly in the last 5 years, but the statistics shows that PM's claims are baseless. China and Brazil joined hands to monitor Amazon forest. They jointly developed and launched a satellite for the same. Voting underway in 16 seats for final phase of Jharkhand Assembly election. 28.24% voter turnout. News in detail. Addressing the annual conference of industry body ASSOCHAM in Delhi today, Mr. Narendra Modi said, in the last 5 years, the country has strengthened itself so much in terms of economy. He said the centre has brought a number of reforms to lay a strong foundation to make India a $5 trillion economy.
Addressing ASSOCHAM conference, Modi said India's economy is growing rapidly in the last 5 years. The statistics show Indian economic growth is weakest in over 6 years. Modi said Indian economy is stabilized and is heading towards $5 trillion economy. The statistics given by Trade Economics indicate India's GDP growth is at the weakest pace. The GDP has fallen from 8 in July 2018 to 4.5 in July 2019. The central government has announced several measures to boost growth, including a reduction in corporate taxes, concessions on vehicle purchases, bank recapitalization, to name a few. These data clearly indicate that Modi's claims are baseless. News Desk, Redspot News.
Farmers in Andhra Pradesh took to the streets after government proposed 3 capitals in the state. Farmers are unhappy with the government's decision and are concerned about losing their lands.
The Andhra Pradesh government on Thursday proposed 3 capitals in the state, one at Amravati, the second at Visakhapatnam and the third at Kurnool. Traffic was blocked by the farmers to register their protest in Amravati against Chief Minister Jagmohan Reddy. The farmers, who had given 33,000 acres of their lands for the capital region development in Amravati under the land pooling scheme, are unhappy with the decision and they feel they were cheated by the government now. Several residents of the villages in Amravati, including women and senior citizens, participated in a sit-in protest for the second day. A petition was filed by the farmers in Andhra Pradesh High Court. Police personnel has been deployed in the area. Prohibitory orders were also in the place to maintain law and order situation. Meanwhile, the state government officials informed that the decision of forming 3 capitals will only come after the report submitted by the expert committee. News Desk, Redspot News.
China and Brazil jointly developed an Earth observation satellite in order to monitor Amazon forest. The satellite was launched into space on Friday. The bilateral program is seen as a template for broader cooperation among the BRICS nations. The China-Brazil Earth Resource Satellite 4A will support the Brazilian government's monitoring of the Amazon forest and changes in the country's environment. The satellite was the 6th developed under the China-Brazil Earth Resource Satellite program that began in 1988. These are designed for Earth observation from orbit for non-military use. BRICS, collectively known for Brazil, Russia, China, India and South Africa, have been in talks to create a constellation of satellites for Earth remote sensing and to share data each other. The jointly developed satellite by Brazil and China would also increase the scope of cooperation among the BRICS nations. Currently, South Africa is the only BRICS nation that does not have satellite of its own. News Desk, Redspot News. Polling for the 5th and final phase of Jharkhand Assembly election in 16 seats is going on right now. Around 28.24% polling is recorded as per the latest reports. The polling, which began at 7 a.m. will end at 3 p.m. today. This election will decide the fate of former CM Hemant Soren. Out of the 81 assembly seats, elections had concluded in 65 constituencies in the 4 phases between November 30 and December 16. Counting of votes will take place on December 23rd. Headlines once again. Addressing ASSOCHAM conference, Prime Minister Narendra Modi claims India's economy is growing rapidly in the last 5 years, but the statistics shows that PM's claims are baseless. China and Brazil joined hands to monitor Amazon forest. They jointly developed and launched a satellite for the same. Voting underway in 16 seats for final phase of Jharkhand Assembly election. 28.24% voter turnout. With that, it's a wrap from me on this edition of Redspot News. Thanks for watching.
You are watching Redspot News.